Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are going to put one single word under the microscope. It's a word you use all the time, probably without even thinking about it. But what if I told you it's one of the most powerful and honestly complex words in the entire English language? That word is account.
I mean, really, just think about it for a second. You can have a bank account, you can give an account of your day, or you have to take something into account, right? That's money, stories, and ideas. It covers all of them. And that's exactly what makes language so cool, how one simple word can wear so many different hats. Now get this number, 850. That's it. That is the total number of words on the official Basic English list. This is a set of words that were picked because they're powerful enough to explain pretty much any idea you can think of. And guess what? Account is on that list. It's in that very, very exclusive club. So, being on that list makes account a true cornerstone of the English language. It's not just another word. It's more like a Swiss Army knife, you know? It looks simple from the outside, but it's just packed with all these different tools and functions. So let's open it up and see what's inside. All right, first up, let's look at account when it's a noun. But even just in this one category, it's a total shapeshifter. We're going to unpack 4 completely distinct meanings right here. Let's start with the one we all know, right? The financial arrangement. Your bank account, your email account, these are basically formal relationships you set up to do business. It's the definition we all learn first. It's nice and simple, but believe me, it's just the tip of the iceberg. But here's a little twist. Account can also mean the records themselves. This is an accountant's entire world, right here. When your boss says, hey, show me the accounts, they don't want to see your bank card. They want to see the ledger, the record of every single transaction. So you see how we've shifted from the relationship itself to the record of that relationship? Okay, now let's pivot completely. Let's get away from money. An account can also just be a story. A witness gives an account of what happened. A historian writes an account of a battle. And think about that for a second. The very same word we use for a financial ledger is also used for a narrative. In a way, they're both records of events. It's just one uses numbers and the other uses words. And our fourth noun, this one is the most abstract of them all. When you take something into account, you're not holding a record or telling a story. You're holding an idea in your mind. Like if you're planning a picnic, you have to take the weather into account. It's not a physical thing, but it is an absolutely crucial piece of that decision-making puzzle. Okay, so we've got the nouns down. Now let's flip the switch and see what happens when account becomes a verb. Because its meaning, it transforms again. As a verb, it's really all about 2 things, quantifying and explaining. Yeah, this slide here really captures that split personality of the verb account. On one hand, it's about numbers and portions, how one thing makes up a part of a bigger whole. And on the other hand, it's about logic and reason, how one thing explains another. It's kind of like the difference between what and why. So let's take that first meeting, quantifying. You're looking at this budget and you'd say, payments to employees account for 73% of our spending. So here, account for is just another way of saying make up or constitute. It's a bit of a formal way to describe a piece of the whole pot. And then you've got the other side of the coin, explaining. If you hear someone was sick, you might go, well, that accounts for her poor test score. See, in this case, accounts for just means explains. It's the why behind the what. It's pure cause and effect. And just when you think we've covered it all, the word expands even further. Account isn't just a standalone word, it's the foundation for a whole family of common phrases and idioms that we use all the time without even thinking about it. I mean, let's just run through a couple of these. When we say a game was canceled on account of the rain, we're using that explanation sense of the word. When we say a movie is fantastic by all accounts, we're referencing that story or report meaning. And when we say on no account should you press that button, we're using it to create this really emphatic rule. It's just incredible how those core meanings get remixed into all these everyday phrases. So after breaking down this one single word, what's the big takeaway? Why does all this matter? Well, it reveals something pretty fundamental about how language and communication actually work. And this, right here, this is the core idea. True mastery of a language isn't about having the biggest vocabulary. It's kind of like being a chef. You don't need hundreds of exotic ingredients. What you need is to deeply understand the essential ones. Salt, fat, acid, heat. Words like account, well,
They're the salt of our language. They're simple, but they have the power to transform everything. It really makes you think, doesn't it? What other simple words are you using every single day that are secretly these powerhouses of meaning? What other linguistic Swiss Army knives are hiding in plain sight in our vocabulary? That's something to think about the next time you speak. Thanks for tuning in.